to a home in a regional centre. We've also continued to provide financial support for incentives such as Evo Cities and the Country and Regional Living Expo, which promote regional New South Wales lifestyles and work opportunities to Sydney-siders as part of our efforts to build the regions. And of course, we're strongly committed to supporting the 14 New South Wales Regional Development Australia committees, including this one here on the Mid-North Coast, not to mention the hard work done by local government and business organisations. I note in passing that Simon Crean and I hope to be making an announcement on new appointments to these committees in the coming weeks. For our part, we've been pleasantly surprised at the quality of expressions of interest made by people, particularly those with strong business backgrounds from right across the state. Now, we're also determined to address the state's infrastructure backlog and deliver projects to deal with the emerging infrastructure challenges driven by population growth across New South Wales, and of course that a particular issue here on the Mid-North Coast. To facilitate that, we've created a new fund, additional infrastructure money over and above that $62.6 billion that I mentioned, and this fund is called Restart New South Wales. We have guaranteed to spend 30% of that in regional and rural New South Wales, again to ensure that we get our fair share of these additional funds. Restart New South Wales, we expect will be in the order of $5 billion, so the region's share would be about $1.6 billion over, again, about the next 3.5 years. It will be funded by some asset leases in the city, in particular the desalination plant at Kurnell and also Port Botany, the operation management of Port Botany, as well as the Waratah bonds, which are available to investors who want to invest in infrastructure. We're also developing industry action plans to position key sectors of the state's economy for strong growth, resilience, improved innovation and productivity, global competitiveness and new investment opportunities over the next decade. Now, as economists and politicians speculate on the reasons for the apparent slowdown in labour productivity in Australia over the past few years, much of the debate has been around how to improve work practices. And whilst we acknowledge that labour productivity plays a part, we also acknowledge the role that other factors play in improving productivity. And it's why we've given our New South Wales Productivity and Innovation Council oversight of these industry action plans. Unlike previous efforts which seemed reluctant to identify and deal with real barriers to growth, we want to make sure that these plans not only identify these impediments, but that they set measurable performance targets for their removal. And I recognise that some of these impediments are due to the state government by way of red tape and regulation and taxation. And we want to make sure that this is New South Wales, and particularly regional New South Wales, is a more than competitive place to do business. We've seen the other states get the jump on us on a whole range of fronts, particularly around that red tape, regulation and taxation. The 5 sectors that we've specifically targeted at this stage for development of these industry action plans are manufacturing, professional services, which includes finance, legal and engineering, international education and research, the digital economy, and that's a good one for the regions because you don't particularly need to be in Sydney to do well in that space, and also tourism and events, and there's another one that I expect the regions will do particularly well in. Now, New South Wales, we understand, competes nationally as well as internationally for business investment and economic opportunities. And in order to make New South Wales Australia's first place to do business, we have to ensure that our state offers a compelling choice as a location for investment and employment growth. These industry action plans will become the roadmap for industries in New South Wales up to 2021, ensuring that both government and industry can best take advantage of opportunities and curb the threats to growth. The development of the plans is already underway, with the government currently seeking input from industry and others through my agency, New South Wales Trade and Investment. And there's a great opportunity to have your say and ensure that your regions are taken into account in the development of these industry action plans. And to do that, you jump on the Have Your Say website, which funnily enough is haveyoursay.nsw.gov.au/IAP, IAP for Industry Action Plans. Trade and Investment will also be holding regional forums, and I would imagine, Michael Cullen, wherever you are, there he is, there'd be one for sure on the Mid-North Coast, and these will be held in February and March to make sure that the opportunity for input is there for all of us. So in closing, ladies and gentlemen, I've outlined to you just a few of the things the New South Wales Government is doing to remove barriers to progress and to equip and support our regions for growth and prosperity. But these efforts alone will not win the day. It's the ability of passionate regional leaders, such as yourselves, to think outside the box, to truly innovate, to ensure the future of regional Australia is a bright one indeed. And it's conferences such as this that provide an impetus for developing a culture of innovation in our regions. I hope you will all leave this conference inspired and enriched for the benefit of your region, New South Wales and Australia. In closing, I'd like to pass on the thanks of the New South Wales Government to Elizabeth McGregor for her stewardship of the RDA Mid-North Coast over past years. Thank you. Enjoy the balance of the day and of your stay here on the beautiful Mid-North Coast.
Please thank